Plaintiff Catherine Martin is suing her former friend for living expenses and a cell phone. Catherine claims she took the defendant and her son into her home because the defendant was involved in an abusive relationship.
Cue the defendant.
Defendant Clarissa Walters claims she thought Catherine was trying to help her until she tried to seduce Clarissa's ex-boyfriend. She's countersuing for property that Catherine refuses to return.
All right. This is a cause of action by the plaintiff who's suing her former friend for living expenses and a cell phone. And the defendant, Clarissa, is countersuing her former friend for unreturned property. Catherine, state your case.
Clarissa and her son, we became friends. I brought her into my home under my wing. She made me feel that her family, wasn't treating her right, like, because she's 18, pretty much told her what to do and couldn't do. And I believe because she's 18, she can do what she wants.
Catherine, how do you know Clarissa?
Through her son's family, the father's family.
Through her son's father's family. You have a son?
Yes, ma'am.
How old?
He'll be 1 on the 24th of this month.
Okay. Go ahead, Catherine.
So I did everything I could for her because I wanted her to feel better about herself. Because Clarissa's a beautiful person, Wanted her to do better because she wasn't being treated so well at home. Mm-hmm. And I gave her the suggestion if she wanted a place to stay, she was more welcome to come stay with me and my mom.
Okay, so you went and stayed with the plaintiff and her mother?
Yes, ma'am.
You took the baby with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Where's the baby's father's not with you?
No, I'm not with him.
Okay, so the two of you move in with the plaintiff.
Your Honor,
what happens?
And she's talking about everything that she tried to do for me. She tried to sleep with my ex-boyfriend that her sister slept with.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's not.
Is that true?
No,
Did you ever sleep with her ex-boyfriend?
No, my sister did.
No,
your sister did?
Her sister did, and then she sat there and was talking to him about, why didn't you get with me? I'm a lot prettier than my sister. I'm this, I'm that. And she did talk to him like that.
Not to be mean, I never said no thing. I date black men. I like black men.
You date black men. Okay.
Her ex-husband is white, so that throws that whole thing
Well, maybe
out
that's
the window.
what you made the decision. Okay, so you move in.
Yes.
There's a problem. What's it like, Catherine? What's it like living with her?
There was no problem, really. I mean, it was all, I enjoyed being around her. She was like being around a little sister that you actually wanted.
That's very nice. What's the problem?
When I moved in with her, it was like nice at first, I thought that she was like really trying to help me and be a friend. But then all of a sudden, she tried to tell me who I could be with, what I should do, what I should think, how I should feel.
Is that true? Did you?
Okay, the only person I ever told her is her ex is abusive. She said,
Your Honor, she has no room to talk about abuse. Her husband divorced her because she abused him.
No, my husband didn't divorce me. He had got a girlfriend.
No, you're lying. You sat there.
You know what, Clarissa, I'm concerned about you. You've got a baby. You're 18 years old. What do you do?
He hit me.
Did you call the police?
No.
Why not?
Because, honestly, now I know that it's stupid. I should have called the cops. Okay. But now I have a PPO against him. I don't talk to him.
Ah, you have a permanent order of protection against him. Did he go to jail?
And everything else. He did go to jail for violating the PPO, and he got picked up.
How did he violate the
Because he
PPO?
was calling, when I lived with her, he was calling her house. And
he was calling your house when she was living?
Yeah, he's made threats.
Okay, go ahead.
But I was worried because I know what it's like to be in an abusive relationship. For one, and if that's me being controlling because somebody I love not want to be with somebody that's going to beat her or maybe beat her son again. Like I found a letter in a bio I let her use. It states that she trying to drop his PPO back in June. So
you still with your ex?
No. So, and I'm not gonna lie, I did think about dropping it, but I am working with a domestic violence counselor right now, and I'm going to classes, and I actually am extending the PPO.
All right. Look, it sounds to me like the two of you really do care for each other. That's what I'm hearing here.
I mean, care about this girl.
How do you feel about her?
Your Honor, I found out from her friend that her and her mother are both smacking my son.
She's lying. We've never
touched
that.
No, I found out from her friend that they were both smacking my son. The girl called me and was like, your son would grab the phone and she smacked her hands. And I believe it because I saw her mom smack him and I was like, and please don't.
She's lying. My mom has never hit no one else's kid ever in her life.
All right. Is there anything other than this person saying this that proves that your son was injured? Was there a mark? Was there anything?
I've seen her mom smack his hands.
What happened?
When you were on the phone, he once played with the phone. Well, he had threw it while we were at the hospital, and it broke.
And I was in the X-ray room. If I was in the room, I would have told her not to give him the phone.
What were you doing in the X-ray room?
Because I fell and I thought I broke my nose. She gave him the phone.
Is that what happened? Really?
No, he was playing with the phone before she went.
No. Why is she in the emergency room?
She was taking a shower and fell in the tub.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And I went to the X-ray room, and that's when she gave him the phone because he wasn't crying. I had him in my arms before I went in the X-ray room. She gave him the phone because he was crying because I left. She told you he had a problem.
Did you give him the phone?
He was playing with the phone before she ever left. He was sitting on the bed playing with it.
Whose phone?
It's my cell phone.
All right. So is the phone broken?
Yeah.
How?
Okay.
But like, shouldn't she know better to give a baby this phone? I'm telling you.
How old is the baby?
He was
about
10,
a year.
No, he was 10 months old when this
All
happened.
right, he's about a year. He's 10 months old. The phone breaks. And what are you suing her for?
Living expenses and to replace my cell phone because she kept telling me she had a phone at her grandma's that they would replace it with or she would buy me a new phone.
That is not true.
You never agreed to say you would get her a phone?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right.
I told her, I said, I'm sorry that he broke your phone, but you should not have gave it to me.
When you moved in, was there any kind of agreement as to whether or not you would pay for rent?
No, like at the time, I did not have a job. I did not have any income at the time. She said she was doing it out of friendship. My witness heard her say that. My grandmother and everybody heard her say that.
Beth.
Beth, stand up. Okay, Beth, why are you here?
Well, basically, I heard her say that she couldn't have none of her stuff back.
I went to get some of my stuff. She did bring some of my stuff, and then I called her numerous times to try to get the rest of my stuff.
She's lying on her.
And
for one, I didn't meet Beth until after she moved into her grandma's house.
So, Beth, you're saying that you witnessed
lie.
a conversation between the two of them?
Yes,
and what was the conversation?
Over at her grandmother's, that she couldn't have none of her stuff
that
back.
She can't have her stuff. Good, sit down. Now, did she have stuff at your place?
Okay, first, before we were still friends when she moved in with her grandmother's, I took what I could fit in my mom's car to her house.
And I paid her
she
for gas
had
for doing that.
She had an elderly lady of
what?
a friend of her grandmother's.
I paid her gas for bringing my stuff. And
All right,
paid
that's
her,
not the issue. Go ahead.
A lady friend of her grandmother's brought her over to get rest of the
It
stuff.
wasn't a lady friend of my grandmother's. It was my old
Who cares?
landlord.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
I'm just trying to get to how much of your stuff is at her place. And by the way, why didn't you take it when you moved out?
My grandma had a heart attack. I went to stay the night with my grandma to make sure she was okay. We had to end
And then you never went back.
I told her, can you please bring the rest of my stuff because I'm going to stay with my grandma because she's not doing too good.
And I did take her whatever I could fit in the car at that time.
Did you know she was moving out, Catherine?
No, not at the time. It was after she moved out. But she called me because she calls me. We used to talk numerous times every day.
Do you think you two can be friends again?
No, because she tried to put my mom in jail.
How?
No, I did not. I was staying at my grandma's house, and then her mom and her sister come over to my grandma's house. Me and her sister do not get along. Why are you going to send somebody over here that I do not get along with when you know I'm here?
My mom.
I knew that I would have a confrontation with the lady, so I called the cops so that I wouldn't get into trouble and that they wouldn't get any trouble, and everything was fine.
My mom called the grandmother. So they come to visit. And when they got there, the police were there. She had made a police report against my mom, who's disabled and 59 years old, saying that she was calling, harassing, and making threats.
No, Your Honor. My grandma did not want them there because my grandma knew that me and
asked her if she'd go ahead and stop by.
What did the cops do? Anything?
The cops just told him to ask him to leave and not to come back out.
You know, this is real bad blood, and it seems somewhat unjustified. I mean, if her mother's going to visit your grandmother...
My grandmother did not want her there. My grandmother told...
Well, what did she do? Did she ever hit your grandmother, threaten to kill her, set the house on fire? The cops show up? They don't have a lot to do. There's no crime yet, but we're going to go there just in case. Did you get her to sign anything where she said she was going to pay you?
No, eventually she was supposed to either get a job and help just like I was doing. You know.
Did you agree?
She wasn't working. She wasn't looking for a job. No.
Well, if she's not working and not looking for a job, that's not your concern.
No,
it's
but
her
she
concern.
said, like, I was
but you don't have a job either. Who's paying for this place?
Her mom.
My mom. And I had, with my unemployment, I had to pay my mom back for everything that...
All right. At some point,
like,
did you anticipate giving her money?
These are my exact words. I said, I can't do anything right now. I'll help you as much as I can with the household stuff and stuff. I said, but you know I don't have a job right now. I said, I can help you clean. I can help you babysit, which I did babysit for her before.
So there isn't an agreement, but she agrees that she's going to help you. You think that she should pay you how much money a month?
Just what split 3 ways of what the household thing was.
And how much is that?
Not even $200 a month.
All right. What am I looking at here? Is this your property?
This is all that's left at my house. It was in my truck. Other than that, she's got everything.
All right. What else are you saying she has? You're saying she has $700 of your stuff?
Yes, because, well, like, if all my stuff is in there, my pictures and his walker and stuff, that's fine. But there is clothes of his missing because he had tons of clothes, and now he has, like, 2 tubs of clothes. There's clothes missing.
You know what? You get that. What's that, a bag? You get that's a little walker, and that's a bag. What's in the bag? Anything?
It's her purse that she left.
All right, Catherine, do you have any more stuff?
No, I don't, honestly.
Okay, here's the bottom line. What you've got is the plaintiff suing for living expenses after she brought the defendant in to live with her. The defendant is claiming, I want certain items that I left at the house. The issue is whether or not there was a contract and whether or not the plaintiff is entitled to recover for a damaged phone. At the end of the day, there was no contract. The defendant agreed that she would help out. She's unemployed. She's 18. She's got a baby. She's got an ex who's beating her. She's going back and forth to court with him. And there's no way she's going to be able to contribute living expenses that the plaintiff is suing for. There's no lease. There's no promissory note. There's nothing that indicates that there was an agreement between the two of them that the defendant would pay the plaintiff. Now, On the other hand, the plaintiff is saying, look, the baby broke my phone. I'm entitled to get this phone back. But by the way, the plaintiff gave the baby the phone. That, as far as I'm concerned, that's negligent supervision. What'd you give the baby your phone for? 10 months old? And if there had been a problem, you might be at the other end of a lawsuit. You, on the other hand, are counterclaiming that you want your property back. Look, here's the bottom line. There was no agreement. You gave the baby the phone. You lose on that end. She's brought some items to court. You haven't been able to prove to me that there are more items. As far as the court is concerned, the two of you should get along and forget all this lawsuit. It's a bunch of hogwash. Let it go. Take care of your baby and stay away from your ex.
There is no future for us.
I hope that she accomplishes everything she wants in life, that her and her son are happy and safe.